I went through a 7-year breakup and put on a ton of weight. I hated who I let myself become and I needed to change. It all started in 2023. I woke up every morning hating the person I saw in the mirror. Through the combination of depression, a failing relationship, and just a lack of care for my own well-being, I quickly found myself at the heaviest weight I've ever been. At that time, I was spiraling pretty deep into depression, so I turned towards food to comfort me, and that just dragged me further into despair. My ex and I were struggling for years prior to our split. I had realized my needs were not being met for a long time, and yet when I was vocal about it, nothing ever changed. Our relationship got to the point where we were simply coexisting. I was struggling to navigate the world alone for the first time in what seemed like forever. And when I said I struggled, I really did struggle. I spent a lot of time alone with my thoughts, and even more time alone crying. I took this photo because I was having a really rough day, and it was a reminder to myself that everything is going to be okay. I was turning 30 soon and I wanted to finally get my life together. I was tired of being insecure and unhappy. If you're like me, I was initially terrified of going to the gym for the first time, but I pushed myself out of my comfort zone, and it's the best decision I've ever made. I won't deny, there was a lot of stumbling along the way. In the last 10 months, I've gotten sick several times, and each time I go back to the gym feeling weaker than ever.
Face of people who didn't enjoy their gym session.
But for me, a lot of it is just falling in love with the process of going to the gym and working out and seeing the changes in my body. So I'm not gonna beat myself up because I feel great. And look, I couldn't even bench the bar 8 months ago. Now look at me with my little 12.5s. Fitness journey aside, the more I fell in love with myself, the more I wanted to push myself even harder. So in 2023, I accomplished a lot. I finally got my driver's license after 30 years, and I bought my very first car. I also might have gotten my first tattoo. Yeah, we're not gonna tell my mom about that one. And overall, I just did some cool ass stuff. I traveled a lot, and for the first time, I felt like I was living again.
Chat, say hi to Zed! They knew.
Somewhere along the way, I no longer hid behind the Photoshop editing and filters I had constantly used before. But instead, I learned to embrace myself as I was. And it was around then when I realized I no longer hated the way I looked anymore.
I also made lunch. Look at how much green there is. This is a really healthy lunch.
Also, just so we're clear, if you think you can lose weight with your poor eating habits, it is time for a reality check. You will not lose weight eating like shit. There you go. I hope that was the reality check you needed. Once I started seeing the visible changes in my body, I was hooked. I promise you, once you get started and you keep yourself motivated and you keep a routine, it is so much easier and it's honestly life-changing. I hope I was able to inspire at least one other person out there, because if I can do it, so can you. I just wanted to say before I head off that if any of you guys are going through what I did in the past, whether it's a bad breakup, whether it's just being unhappy with yourself, just know that I believe in you and you can do it too. So start now. It will never be too late to change your lifestyle.